Hey guys, it's Tim, and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited, as we are here with the PW Unlimited Wednesday show, episode number 76. Nick, how have you been this last week?
I've been all right. I've been okay. Stressed from work, getting fucked over at every turn at my job.
Oh no.
Yeah. And then it was like today, out of all fucking days, I'm like, my grandmother's like, you should wear a jacket today. And I was like, nah, it's all right. I'll be indoors all day. I go outside. It's just pouring down rain.
How bad was it there? Because it's supposed to come here tomorrow.
It's been like, when it's here
Right.
type thing. Like, it's not, it didn't last very long. I think we're getting another wave tonight, and it's going to go out to you.
That's what I saw.
But, yeah, it was a lot of rain. I'm not going to lie. It was a lot of rain.
I remember last weekend, my son, he did some like project in school with like a potted plant deal. And so he had it sitting outside of the front door, and it got so windy with the rain and everything, it knocked the whole thing right off of the ledge, because we're in an upstairs apartment. It knocked everything right off the ledge. It was that windy last weekend.
Good God. And I just want to mention real quick, the Sharks have won in overtime 5-4, so that's what I'm talking about. But
nice.
Joey Rossetto says, let's go Flyers. God, let's go Red Wings. Get out of here.
Uh-oh.
God, you guys aren't even real fans of the show. Joe Surfer's here. DJ McDaniel, as I just said. Joey Rossetto. Jason Dalton's here. Double Nelson. He's here as well. Woken King Slender. Derek Bocek. Derek Bocek says something that, like, I thought about as a student in high school but never did, which was, he said, doing sophomore English homework right now. Fuck my life for procrastinating. I don't think I ever did homework in high school. I'm not going to lie. That's not making a joke. I don't think I ever did a single homework assignment in high school. Oof. Not even the one that's like, get this paper signed. I forged it in class. I would give it to them too, and they'd be like, your mom signed this? I was like, yeah. They're like, all right, fuck it. Towards the end of my senior year, if I had to sign anything, I was 18 at that point, so I was like, no need to call my mother, Miss Principal. I can sign for my own referral. I can whip my own ass when I get home. That was always like the big... What sucks is that in high school, I never drove. And I feel like that's one thing I missed out on.
I did the last half of junior year and most of senior year.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I always felt like if you drove, you were cool. Like, if you had a car, you were probably a cool kid.
Well, we just had, like... It was... Because at the time, it was only me and my parents driving. My brother wasn't old enough yet. And we had, like, 4 cars.
Jesus Christ.
My dad had his normal car. Well, because when I was in high school, we didn't live in Fresno. We lived up in the mountains. So my dad had a commuter car that could take him back and forth to work because it was like an hour drive each way. So he had that car. But then he had, for the weekend, he had a big old truck. And then my mom had her car. And then we just had an extra random car. We had so many damn vehicles growing up. I couldn't even count. Vehicles, RVs, boats, go-karts, motorcycles, three-wheelers.
You know who would love you?
Who?
You know who would love you? 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your cars today. I fucking hate that commercial. God damn. Before I get too mad, there was a little bit of news today regarding a certain television network picking up a small, tiny, independent company.
Whoa.
So why don't we...
yeah, we could talk about that. And we were, I was going to transition to that from asking anybody in the live chat, who's going to be in Vegas next week?
Fuck them. Yeah, who's going to be in Vegas next? Who's 21? Who's going to be in Vegas? Who wants to buy me alcohol? What the fuck? You're 21. I could just ask you to.
Me? I'm not 21. I'm
You're well over.
Over.
Well, for those that will be in Las Vegas next week for StarCast and Double or Nothing, I can happily say that you will not only see Tim, but you will see my beautiful face. Me, I'll be there too. I'll be there as media. Holy shit.
Yeah, we should be getting in town late Thursday night. It's a 6-hour drive. Well, if we go straight and at 60, Google Maps, what do they do it at 60 miles an hour? So if we go a little faster, we can knock it out maybe in 5.
Because I'm taking a 6-hour train ride and then a 6-hour car ride. So for 12 out of 24 hours.
At least in the car ride, you're not going to be by yourself.
That's true. That's true.
We could shoot the shit. I can
There
make
you
you
go.
work.
I'll just be working the whole time.
I can put you to work. I'll just hit the hotspot on my phone and then be like, take my laptop, write some articles.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. We need more articles on that website. But if you guys are going to be around there, come say hi to us. Come,
yeah, we'll be there all day Friday.
Don't mug me.
We'll be there all day Friday, all day Saturday, and then I don't know when I'm going to leave or when we're leaving on Sunday.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
I need to ask you about Sunday. We'll talk about that off the air, though.
What's Sunday?
Your plans on? Are you coming back with me or are you?
Oh, I'm probably going to fly.
That's what I was going to ask, but okay.
I think that's what Mr. Jones to me says Nick is probably a terrible person to be in the car with for 6 hours. Yeah, and you're probably a terrible person to be in a fucking live chat section. So,
I've been in the car with him for 4 and he was fine.
It's very true. Just give me an energy drink and I'm as quiet as a fucking mouse. Technically,
we've done 4 twice because that Daily City show for New Japan, we were in the car a lot, driving from different venue to different venue.
Yeah, we're
and that was all basically in the same vicinity. We didn't.
It was. Anyway, let's talk about AEW.
So, this morning, before I even woke up, last week we had heard that at around 9 p.m. Eastern time they were going to announce the AEW TNT TV deal. Well, they announced it earlier than that. I'm on the Pacific Coast, Pacific time, so I planned to wake up at 6 a.m., not knowing that I should have woke up at 5 a.m. because that's when the news was actually put out. And they sent out a press release announcing that AEW, starting in the fall, will air on TNT. It will be live shows every single week. It will be live broadcasting. So that's good to know that it's live and it's not going to be a pre-taped show. They also stated that Double or Nothing will be streaming on the Bleacher Report live service, which I have some stuff to say about that.
I didn't even know that was a fucking thing.
Yeah. And so it's going to be Double or Nothing will be streaming on that. It will be $50. You cannot get it on Fight TV if you live in the United States or in Canada. I have heard that if you live anywhere else in the world, Fight should be carrying it for you guys. Also, we learned in the press conference that there was one other thing, not press conference, but press release.
What was it called? It was called like TNT, I think it was like shareholders or some shit like that.
No, it was the Warner Media upfronts.
Oh, that's what it was.
It's basically because Warner, the Warner Brother channels, the AT&T stuff that they own, and Turner Broadcasting, I think a year ago, all merged together, and now they're just called Warner Media. So they had their upfronts, and what upfronts are, it's when they say, hey, here's our lineups for the fall. We got all these shows and all these networks. Who wants to sponsor? So that's what the upfronts are for. And they announced the AEW stuff beforehand. They briefly touched on it during the event. And they had Cody and Brandy there. Matt Jackson was there with his wife, Dana. Nick Jackson was there. Kenny Omega. Britt Baker was there. Tony Khan was there. And so was Hangman Page. They were all in attendance. Kenny Omega's got purple hair for next week's show.
Nice.
But basically, I think that was all that was actually put out in the actual press release. They didn't announce much other than, it's going to be on TNT. It's going to be live. And Double or Nothing is on Bleacher Report, also on regular pay-per-view. And I believe that, this wasn't confirmed, but I believe all pay-per-views in the U.S. and Canada will be on Bleacher Report, not just Double or Nothing.
Okay, so why don't you like Bleacher Report stuff? Because I already heard you being a little salty about it before we even started.
Because the service sucks.
Does it?
It's so bad.
I didn't know it was a thing.
So the first time I ever heard of Bleacher Report live was last November when they did a golf match. It was a one-on-one Tiger Woods versus Phil Mickelson. Winner won $1 million. And that was the first time I heard of Bleacher Report live. I'm like, what the hell is Bleacher Report live? I had no clue what it was. I had never heard of it before. But I'm like, I like golf. I'll check this out. But I didn't want to pay for it. I'm like, oh, never mind. I'm not going to watch this. I'm not going to pay for it. And then my buddy ended up paying for it. So I got on his account. You shared account, whatever. And I watched it. And it was horrible. It buffered all the time. The quality was not where it should have been. It was grainy at times. You want to know how bad this live stream was. It was so bad that halfway through, it got turned into a free view event, and everyone that paid for it got their money back, and then anybody could watch.
I think that's fair.
Also,
I think that's at least them acknowledging, hey, we fucking suck.
So their biggest thing with Bleacher Report Live is UEFA Champions League, the soccer. They also air some of the NBA League Pass games. And I was told by a few people today that they don't like the Bleacher Report Live service because they've never been able to get through a full match of soccer because the quality's that bad that it just irritates them and they say, screw it.
God.
And someone even called into Brian Alvarez's Wrestling Observer live show and told him the same thing. That the service is not good. It buffers a lot, and the quality, it says it like, if you set it at like 720 or 1080, it ain't there.
Oh, God. That's the worst.
So
yeah, and I think
hopefully they've got their shit together by next weekend. I'm just saying. Yeah,
I hope. And I see a lot of people are talking about $50 is too expensive for the pay-per-view.
I mean, that's what WWE was running their pay-per-views before they went to the network.
Yeah, and it's like...
And, to be honest, it's only $10 more than what everybody else in wrestling charges. I mean, Impact is $39.99. Ring of Honor is $39.99. A lot of the other stuff that airs on Fight is like $39.99. So it's the normal price ish for what a pay-per-view is or used to be.
And I mean, honestly, I don't think it's that big of a deal. The price, I don't think it's that big of a deal.
I mean, they got to make their money back on it because you got to think.
Exactly. And people are going to buy. Because here's who I'm assuming. I'm assuming if they're going to take this as legitimately as they are, I'm going to assume bars would start picking it up or something like that.
I don't know how many bars would pick up All Elite Wrestling, though. I don't know if they still do, but I know 5 years ago, every WWE pay-per-view you can get in and watch at Buffalo Wild Wings, and they charge $5 a head.
You know what's funny is that they don't even charge for UFC fights.
No?
I can go in there. I went in there and I watched like a bunch of UFC fights.
I remember 2012 when I lived in Texas. They were showing WrestleMania at a Buffalo Wild Wings, and maybe it was just because it was WrestleMania, but literally set on the little sign out front, $5 cover fee at a Buffalo Wild Wings.
I mean, the same thing though. They got to make their money back.
Right.
That's just one of those things.
Because
I don't think the $50 is that big of a deal, honestly.
Right, and like you were saying, they got to make their money back because technically it's more expensive for a bar to get the pay-per-views and air them than it is for a regular person because they're paying more than just the $50. They actually have to. So when a bar wants to air a pay-per-view, they actually have to go through a special provider, and then they have to pay a fee based off of the size of their bar. So if their bar has a 200-person like capacity, they have to pay X amount of money on 200 people. I think it's 50% of what the actual pay-per-view cost fee is, something like that. Because I knew a couple bars here in Fresno that I was like, hey, are you guys going to show the Conor McGregor Floyd Mayweather boxing fight? And they're like, oh no, that's going to cost us way too much money, and we don't even know if we'll make the money back.
Shit.
Yeah, so they always air like the free UFC shows, which there's none anymore because of damn ESPN Plus. But they used to always show all the free UFC shows, and they were on Fox and the prelims and all that. But they don't really show UFC at some of the bars that I've frequent around here or go to have gone to, because it just costs too much because they charge you more because their thing is, well, if you get your bar full at 200 people and you charge each person $5 to get in, and then they each buy a drink, you're technically making money off of us if you just buy the $50 pay-per-view.
Exactly.
So they kind of want to make as well. And also, say AEW's got their pay-per-view on, which I believe it's on DirecTV, Dish Network, Comcast, Verizon, Fios, and AT&T Uverse. The pay-per-view is $50. AEW doesn't get that full $50. The cable provider or the satellite provider's got to take their cut as well. So you got to think, this company, they got to make money. Now, here's the thing that we've learned. So AEW is not being technically paid for this TV deal. Now, I know there's a lot of people that kept trying to say, oh, this is a time buy. They're paying TNT. They're going to pay TNT. That's not it. What's happening is it is what's called a revenue or ad rev split. So what it is they got people who's going to advertise and have their commercials air during whatever this AEW show is going to be, whatever it's going to be called. And then AEW gets a percentage, whatever is agreed upon when they sign the contracts. They get their percentage, and then the rest of whatever they make for advertising goes to TNT. So that's how they're being paid, is they're splitting the ad money from the commercials. And I don't know if they're getting 50-50, if TNT's doing 60 for them and 40 for AEW. But here's the big kicker. They're treating it like sports, and TNT's paying the production costs.
Oh, yeah.
Because WWE, they pay their own production cost. Meltzer has stated that easily it's $500,000 to run a Raw. $500,000 to run a SmackDown. I don't know what the production costs are going to be for AEW because we don't know what their weekly show is going to look like. Now, Double or Nothing can look like fucking WrestleMania for all we know, but that doesn't mean that's what the weekly show is going to look like in the fall. But with them treating it like a sport, they're going to treat it like they would any other sport where the network picks up the production cost, just like with, the NFL on Fox. They have all their own people doing production. Or like, I'll use NASCAR as an analogy. First half of the season, it's on Fox. They've got all their own. Now, NASCAR has their own production crew for their website, the NASCAR online media stuff. But for television, the first half of the season, it's all on Fox. They got their own production crew, their own announcers. Second half of the season, it moves over to NBC. Different production crew, different announcers, all paid by NBC. The announcers don't work for NASCAR. They all work for either Fox or NBC. And that's the question we now have to ask with AEW. Are the announcers signed to AEW? Are they AEW talent? Or do they work for TNT and Turner Sports and Warner Media since they're paying the production costs?
It's a big mess.
Right. Or is the other factor or the other way they can do it, it could be AEW just does it all. They come up with hey, here's how much you can spend per show. We'll write you the check. Go for it, We don't know. That's something that we'll have to find out over time, I guess.
I'm excited to find that out. I think AEW with TNT, no matter how this all plays out, that's going to be fucking huge.
I mean, it is huge. I mean, it's a better network than TNA had when they were on Spike. It's a better network. Yes, TNA was actually being paid. But, again, AEW is going to have more exposure because it's not a lot bigger of a channel than Spike TV was, but more people know of and watch, I think, TNT and know of TNT. And especially, we don't know the day of the week. I believe it's going to be a Wednesday show, so we may have to be changing this show.
Fuck, assholes. Nah, dude. I'm suing AEW for copyright infringement right now.
Because here's the thing. They don't want to run on Mondays against Raw. They're not going to run on Fridays against SmackDown. We know they're on TNT. We can't say, well, if they go to TNT or if they go to TBS. They're on TNT.
Why can't they go Tuesdays?
NBA. Tuesdays and Thursdays. Every Tuesday and Thursday during the NBA season, there will be a game on TNT. They upped their contract with TNT. The NBA did. The only day that works is Wednesday. I mean, what are they going to do? Run their shows on Sunday? Their pay-per-views are Saturdays.
Yeah, I guess they would have to run them on Sundays, or not Sundays, rather.
Their
Wednesdays.
only day is Wednesday. That's the only day that really seems to work for them would be Wednesday. They still have the trademark for Tuesday Night Dynamite live. They could always change that. They can, cancel that trademark.
Yeah, because they own it.
Right, they own the trademark to Tuesday Night Dynamite. And that trademark was filed mid-January. So I don't know if they were... Because they had Turner and they had another network reportedly, they were talking with that was outside of the Turner family. And even when they were talking to Turner, they still could have always gone to TBS on Tuesdays. But ultimately they wanted TNT so that way they could, possibly co-promote it. Oh, hey, Tuesday night you guys are watching NBA. Well, come back to TNT tomorrow on Wednesday to watch All Elite Wrestling. And then you're watching All Elite Wrestling and you go, oh, you're watching All Elite on Wednesday? Come back to TNT tomorrow night, Thursday, watch some more basketball. And that's what Fox wants to do with SmackDown as well, where they can, Thursday Night Football, they're going to tell you to come back Friday for SmackDown. Then SmackDown, they're going to tell you to come back Saturday for college football. Bada boom.
Well, and I mean, I want to raise the argument of like, I don't like that the NBA and TNT have that Thursday deal, because their Thursday games are the same as like the NFL's Thursday game. No one watches those games.
No one. NFL Thursday games do pretty well.
Do they?
Yeah. They do pretty well.
Aren't they always like, it's always like two real shitty teams though. It's like you'd get like, I don't know.
Sometimes. I mean, it's a primetime game, so you would think they'd give them good teams and good markets.
They're going to get like the Lakers and the fucking Pistons.
Hey.
Like, who cares?
Diss my Lakers.
I'm sorry, man. There's no fucking way the Lakers should have got the 4th pick in the draft. That's fucking bullshit. Anyway, let's continue on talking about AEW.
The last thing we did learn today of AEW, the last thing that we know is that, yes, they're treating it like a sport, but apparently under Warner Media, it's categorized as entertainment. So it's being treated as a sport, but it's still lumped in under entertainment with all the other regular television shows. So that's something to think about as well. Not that big of a deal, though. So we'll see. We'll see how it all does go. Their first big shot is the 25th with Double or Nothing.
That's very true. That's really is like that's the kickoff.
And like I said, that's going to show us how this damn Bleacher Report Live service works. Bleacher Report Live was only announced 1 year ago, back in March 2018. I don't know when it aired its first live event. I don't know if the first live event was
I believe it was the Tiger Woods thing.
It might have been. But apparently the reason that Tiger Woods thing went down was because more people tried to watch and buy the pay-per-view than they expected. And here's the other thing that could be good that they're on Bleacher Report. So if they go to Fight TV, most likely you would have to pay for every single pay-per-view. But with the Bleacher Report Live service, they don't have just one subscription like the WWE Network or ESPN Plus. What they do is they do subscriptions based off of the leagues that they have the rights to. So with UEFA Championship League, you don't just have to pay for every soccer game or whatnot, or you don't just pay for the Bleacher Report Live service and get all the games. You have to pay for the UEFA package, which $70, you get the full season. So once they get a good lineup of pay-per-views for All Elite Wrestling, maybe they can do a deal where you don't pay $50 every time. You pay one lump sum for the year, and you get all their pay-per-views for that year.
I like that.
That's something they could do. I don't know if they're going to do that.
There's a lot of ways for them to run this.
That is one way.
They're going to test a lot of stuff out.
Right. And that is one way that Bleacher Report Live does work, is subscriptions per league. So we'll see.
We will see. There's Tim.
Go for it.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was also going to say, we don't know because I don't know if the TNT app itself has a live streaming component, or if the weekly show will stream live on the Bleacher Report app. That's the other thing. I don't know, because the USA Network, where Raw and SmackDown are, their app doesn't have a live component like a lot of other channels like Disney Channel, Nickelodeon, Food Network, and so forth. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if you can either watch it on TNT app live, or if you'll be able to just watch it on your TV live, or if you can watch the weekly show on the Bleacher Report live.
There's too many places. That's too confusing.
We'll know in a couple of months. I mean, technically...
not in a couple of months, but I see where the WWE has it 100 times better, where they're just like, yeah, we have a network.
Well, they're going to have two, and that's the other question with WWE. Are we going to be able to watch SmackDown on Fridays on the Fox Sports Go app?
Yeah, I guess they're going to have that problem soon.
I mean, if they treat it like sport, then you should. And then here's the one last thing. This actually works for both SmackDown and AEW. With it being treated as sport, are we getting it live on the West Coast, or are we getting it at the whatever time on the West Coast like SmackDown and Raw do now? That's the other thing. If you treat it like sport, is it live on both coasts at the same time?
There's so much with that.
And like I said, we don't know the day of the week, but we should know that day of the week within the next maybe 2 months, because they got to start booking arenas to you can't just the week of say, oh, hey, we want to go film at American Airlines Arena in Dallas. Can we get the building for a Wednesday night? You got to book them a couple, at least 3-4 months in advance, so you got the day set. So we'll know soon what day of the week, even if they don't announce it. Once we start finding out, hey, this arena's got AEW on Wednesdays, or this arena's got AEW on Fridays, or whatever day they're going to go, we'll know soon once they start booking venues. So.
I'm excited, man. It's a fun fucking time for wrestling. And with fun times in wrestling come up, we have I'm skipping over the thing that we talked about.
Okay.
Because I want to save that.
Okay.
So, what I want to talk about and discuss and give is our predictions for Money in the Bank this Sunday on the WWE Network. If you've never signed up, you can make a free account and watch it today. Or not today, but you know what
Sunday.
I mean. Sunday. So let's talk about it, because this Money in the Bank is the first time I think I'm actually excited for a WWE pay-per-view for the first time since, like, SummerSlam.
Of last year? Or
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. I just have not been thrilled with some directions and stuff like that.
So, as far as this pay-per-view goes, first match I'm going to note, nobody knows what this match actually is. It's on the pre-show. It's the SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions Daniel Bryan and Rowan against the Usos. On the WWE website, it makes you believe that it's just a match and not a title match, but I've heard it also said as being a title match, because I think on social media, the way they mentioned it was as far as it being titles on the line, so I don't know, but on the pre-show, it's the Usos versus the SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions Daniel Bryan and Rowan.
I'm gonna take Daniel Bryan and Rowan for this one. I mean, the Usos are Raw guys. There's no reason they're gonna win those belts, even if they were for the belts. Not being for the belts, you can have the Usos just. This is the kind of match where everyone in the match can look good, get their stuff in, and it ends in a very clean, normal way. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
This is gonna be a solid match.
Yeah, and we saw last week on SmackDown with the titles on the line. That match was great, and it can't be any worse. I mean, it can, but I don't think it would be any worse.
Well, don't say that, because it definitely could be.
Right. But the only thing is, I want to see how these guys can do on a pre-show when you've got basically almost no crowd there, because they're all still filing in, or they're all still.
I wonder if that's to kind of get the crowd in.
I mean, maybe, but at the same time, Daniel Bryan was not supposed to be on this show. When Daniel Bryan got hurt at WrestleMania, they did not expect him to be back in time for Money in the Bank. That's why Kevin Owens is challenging Kofi. It was originally supposed to be Kofi and Daniel Bryan in the main event for the WWE Championship.
That sucks, man.
So Bryan came back, and they said, hey, we're going to put titles on you and put you on the pre-show, which is fine because, I mean, the main card's already stacked.
Exactly. The main card.
As far as we know right now, Cruiserweight title's on the main card. When does that ever happen?
That's so fun.
I mean, they could always change it on Friday and be like, oh, yeah, hey, Cruiserweight titles moved to the pre-show as well. But I'm going to go Daniel Bryan and Rowan. I'm going to go with the champs, even if it's a non-title.
Me too.
Next
I
up?
just saw the most... Hold on, real quick. I just saw the most wholesome thing on the planet.
Uh-oh.
As Los Angeles Dodgers pitcher, what's his name? Alex versus something. The Dodgers fan in like the third inning in the middle of an at-bat just broke out in a chant of, like, they sang happy birthday to him.
Nice. They're playing the Padres right now.
They are. Padres destroy them. Anyway.
They're winning.
Next up.
Dodgers are winning 2-0.
Shit. Next up.
Let's not talk baseball because my Angels, we lost by 1. Anyways. Cruiserweight title. Tony Nese defending against Arya Daivari. I'm going to go Tony Nese retaining.
Yeah?
Yeah, because they've been building him up for so long, and I don't think they take that title off of him this quickly. They've been building him up since at least the beginning of the year, if not a little bit longer.
Yeah, I would, yeah, I'll just take the champ. Why not?
So with that going forward, give me 1 second. There's a text message here that's a little... Okay. I'll address this text message from 229 after we do these predictions. So, going forward, we do have a steel cage match. It's The Miz taking on old Shane McMahon. You think Shane jumps off that cage?
Yeah, has to.
Hey, I was impressed. He actually jumped the full distance for his coast to coast this week.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I remember when he faced the Usos at, what was it, Elimination Chamber. Whichever Uso it was had to literally sit up and lean forward because he could probably tell, oh, Shane ain't gonna make it. I gotta reach in.
Dude, everyone since the year like 2009 has had to lean forward for Shane's fucking coast to coast.
Well, that's why you just put the trash can there, so it's like, oh, he should make the trash can at least.
Exactly. Like, we'll give him a little bit of room. But yeah, like Woken Keystone says, Tony Nese just needs to win and retain that belt. That's why I wanted to shoehorn that in real quick.
So, steel cage match. Say Shane does something crazy, but Miz wins in the end.
I say I can tell you exactly how it's gonna end. It's gonna end with Shane doing something crazy, and the Miz is gonna capitalize on it, and then that'll be the end of that. I fucking hope, because I'm tired.
I can see that.
Shane McMahon being a wrestler, right? Why?
You think he's not going to be a wrestler after this? Have you seen what's advertised for Extreme Rules?
No, I haven't.
It's Roman taking on Elias and Shane in a handicap match.
Oh, I want
and that
a
is
fucking
new.
cigarette.
And that is new because it was just changed like over the weekend.
God, I need a cigarette.
So going forward, speaking of Roman Reigns and Elias, they're in a match. You gotta think the big dog goes over.
What do you do, for the love of God, when you've got Roman Reigns on SmackDown? Who the fuck is he gonna feud with?
Elias and Shane?
If he's starting with Elias and Shane, and then he had to face the B team in a handicap match, dude, that's so stinky.
You're telling me.
Big Dog's gotta go over. Big Dog needs to go back to Raw. There's nothing for him to do there.
He has the last 2 weeks with the wild card rule.
Well, exactly, and I need him to just say, fuck it, I'm here.
But I don't know what they do with him on SmackDown. I mean, eventually, he gets that WWE Championship?
Do you think he's... Who's he beating for it, though?
Anybody.
Yeah?
I mean, put the title on Owens and let him beat Owens.
That would suck for Owens, though.
True. But, I mean, it would mean more if he takes it off of a heel than a babyface Kofi Kingston.
Well, he is kind of being booked like a bad guy.
Roman?
Yeah.
He got booed this week in London. More than he has since he came back.
Are they finally like, the cancer thing wore off, we can boo you again?
Well, I mean, there was still the cheers. Like, you can hear cheers more than before, like a year ago. But it wasn't like, I kind of heard a boo. No, them boos were there. It was at least 50-50, if not 60-40.
So, yeah, I'm going to take the Big Dog as well.
But also, it could have been that a lot of the same people went to the show Monday and Tuesday, and they're like, Roman opening the show 2 nights in a row? We don't want to see that shit.
Yeah, no fucking kidding.
So going forward with the United States Championship on the line, Samoa Joe defending against Rey Mysterio. And Samoa Joe told Rey to bring his son Dominic with him on Sunday.
I pray to God Dominic gets involved. He has to, first of all, yeah.
Why else would Rey bring up to random Cesaro, like throw it out there, like barely say, oh, I shouldn't have to tell you this, but my son's been training and traveling the world. Like he spit it out really fast where Cesaro tried to beat his ass in the locker room. Like there's got to be a reason for him to get that line in, like him to make sure he got that line in.
I wouldn't mind seeing fucking Dominic throw it around in the ring. Why not? Dude looks like a fucking small Walter.
Here's my question I got for you.
I got an answer.
I actually talked to a caller about this yesterday or the day before, Monday. So, if Dominic does sign with the WWE, do you start him in NXT or do you go, he's a Mysterio, he can skip developmental?
You can say You can do.
I mean, technically,
like
he's a Guerrero because, I mean, Eddie did birth him, or Eddie did make him.
Eddie didn't fucking birth him.
I mean, remember, they were fighting over custody of Dominic. I mean, Eddie had to get that DNA test proven positive for that to even be relevant.
It's true. That's
Stepdaddy
true.
Ray.
Anyway. So, let's say the WWE does sign Dominic.
Right.
I could absolutely see it being like, look, it would be for the first maybe month, it's Dominic with Ray as his coach, and that's kind of the gimmick.
That'd be cool.
But it's also like, we're gonna get you adjusted to television, so we're gonna put you with your dad, and you're just gonna walk with him through it, and he's gonna hold your hand for a bit. The last couple weeks, he's gonna unhold your hand. We'll have a big blow off.
And then he turns on Ray.
Yeah, and then he turns on Ray, and that can be his first big feud with his dad. I think that would be cool. I wouldn't mind seeing that at all. If Dominic has the promise, sure.
Or a way to get Rey Mysterio on TV, like you said. Ray's like his coach. Oh, not get Ray on TV, get Ray on NXT. Ray's his coach, and he also goes down to NXT with him. In his
I don't
corner.
see that. I don't see that
Kind
happening.
of like when Rick was in Charlotte's corner.
I don't see that happening just because I don't see Ray working.
Well, I mean, just the tapings once a month.
Right, but in theory, in TV theory, he'd be working Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Well, he's not Tuesday anymore. I mean, Monday, Wednesday.
Provided
he doesn't.
He's not part of the fucking wild card rule, which again is bullshit. Mr. Jones, why the fuck? All right, what prompted you to say that? Why would you say something so trivial yet so true in my chat room? That's fucking weird, man.
Okay.
George John Cox says that would be cool to see.
I mean, it would be interesting. Well, who you got winning the match with the U.S. title on the line?
I've got Joe winning that match again, and I'm sure it's gonna be maybe like an interference. It's gonna have to do with Dominic. I keep wanting to call him Walter. Dominic.
Call him Walter.
He looks like Walter.
What, compared to Ray?
No, he's just a big, husky, baby-faced man.
How tall is Dominic?
Hopefully not taller than me, because I don't want him to be able to fight me. That's scary, dude.
Dominic Mysterio height.
What a cool fucking Dominic Mysterio. That's so badass.
Let's see. No, that's Rey Mysterio is 5'6". I don't know. He's got to be bigger than 5'6" because Rey's 5'6". He's got to be like at least 6'1" maybe.
Yeah, I believe he's 6'1".
So, you got Joe. I got Joe as well. Going forward, these next two, we'll lump them together. It's Becky Lynch. She's taking on Flair for the SmackDown title. Lacey Evans for the Raw title.
Becky's going over, right, in both matches?
I mean, I would assume.
Based off if the stand tall rule applies to triple threat matches, then Becky getting
triple threat.
Well, you know what I mean.
No, I get what you're saying.
When it's two of the same people in the promo, I would have to assume that means Becky goes over, and that Lacey Evans match will probably go. If it doesn't go for like 15 seconds, it's going to go maybe 3 minutes.
I would say that match can't be long. We haven't seen Lacey Evans. She's done what? One match on the main roster, and it was 36 seconds or so.
Which is a frightening thought. But I think Becky is a really good worker for you to put her against.
Yeah.
I think Becky's going to get some good out of her. I'm excited. I'm really really excited for Lacey Evans because her what is her punch called? Don't tell me what it is. It's the Every Woman's Rights? Or the woman's right or something like that. It's her right hook. It's cool.
Woman's right.
I think she has some promise. I think her character is really good. I think putting her with Becky as the man, and I think it's a good way to establish what Lacey Evans' character is.
The sassy Southern Belle.
Yeah, and I like the line when Becky's like, "Oh, why don't you go make me a sandwich?" Right? and then of course they saw that social media liked that line, so they overused it like a mofo.
Right.
But in that one moment, you get the clear idea of like Lacey is the sassy Southern Belle, like her fucking nickname would say, and Becky's clearly the the opposition. So it shows you what Lacey's character is, and her character has a ton of promise. She's doing a great job. I'm just really worried about her in-ring work. She's great on the mic. She's something that the women's division doesn't fucking have.
Right.
Is she can carry herself on the mic.
Not many in that division can. There's maybe a handful.
There's two. There's three. It's Vega, it's Becky, and it's Lacey.
You don't think
Charlotte can't do it?
No. You don't think Alexa can?
She's fine. I'll put her in fine because I love her in-ring work. But as I said, Becky Lynch is going to go over in this first match.
Well, which first match? I lumped them together. There's two. Well, there's the Raw woman and the SmackDown woman.
Listen, Becky Lynch is fucking going over both matches. She's going to beat Lacey in 15 seconds, and then she's going to have like a really nice match with Charlotte.
So,
the Iconics can hold themselves on the mic too. They're just kind of
here's my thing.
Boring. What's up?
If either of these matches or both take place after the women's ladder match, you think someone cashes in on her, or no, because that's what they did last year with Alexa cashing in the same night.
Well, let's talk about that when we get to the ladder matches then.
Well, then let's move forward with the WWE Championship on the line. Kofi Kingston defending against Kevin Owens.
You know, if you would have asked me this question 2 weeks ago, I probably would have told you Kevin Owens because Kofi's time in the light has died. But that night, he came on Raw, electric. That next night on SmackDown, electric. These UK shows, electric.
Well, here's the thing.
I think the crowd still loves him.
Kevin Owens kind of beat down Kofi on SmackDown last night. He literally told Kofi, he said, I can beat you down more, but I want to leave enough of you so you can actually make it to Money in the Bank. And then Owens got out of the ring, but then Kofi fought back and took down Sammy. So technically, Owens stood tall over Kofi, but Kofi stood tall in the end as well. So that's got me all kinds of confused based off WWE booking.
Based off the stand tall rule. I've got Sammy getting involved in this match, and I've got him getting involved.
Sammy wins the ladder match, tries to cash in.
Yeah, I can't believe I was about to say that because I believe it's going to happen. I think that's going to happen. Let's put it this way. I have the winner of this match technically be Kofi Kingston. No. I lied. No. Shut up. I have the winner of this match as Kevin Owens, new champion.
New champion?
Yeah.
Or I get how that can happen. Sammy comes. So hypothetically, Sammy wins Money in the Bank.
Are you just gonna fucking steal my thunder?
Sammy then comes down.
We might have the same idea.
And teases a cash in, which throws Kofi off and allows Kevin Owens to take the advantage of win.
No, what I was gonna go with is Owens wins. It's a huge celebration. Sammy's out there cheering him on, and then hits him with the briefcase. God, I don't even remember what Sammy's finisher is. It's not the Blue Thunder Bomb.
The haluva kick.
Hits him with a couple of haluva kicks, pins him.
So you're saying Owens and Sammy both win the title on the same night?
Yes, I'm saying Owens and Sammy both win the title on the same night.
Ooh.
That would be nice.
I mean,
that'd be nice. I think if they want to, okay, let's put it this way. If they're really scared of AEW, I think they do that.
Why?
Just because you got these are fucking fan favorites.
True.
Everyone's gonna pop for this, and at least that first week, your Raw and SmackDown tapings are gonna be fucking popping. They're gonna be tuned into.
True.
You got two guys that you've wanted to be. One of these guys hasn't even won a fucking belt on the main roster yet, and his first one's a U.S. title after cashing in, the U.S. title, the WWE title after cashing in Money in the Bank. Oh baby, that's a pop.
Now Noob & Co., you say Sammy will turn traitor on Kevin Owens. We don't know if they're even... Yeah, Sammy helped Kevin Owens last night on SmackDown, but we don't even know if they're an alliance on the main roster right now, to be honest.
Exactly.
For all we know.
I'm sure he came down there because his mindset's well, I'm in the Money in the Bank, and if I win, I'm going to cash in on him since he's going to get his ass beat by Kevin.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I think you put the title on Kevin Owens. That's what I would go with.
I would as well.
I think that's going to be my prediction. But at the same time, I would not be surprised if they do keep the title on Kofi. For the same thing you said is, right now he's a fan favorite, but it's starting to die down just a hair. Not as much as Becky's died down, but
if they really want to spike the views, they'll do that. They'll do something off the wall like that.
So going forward, and probably one of the better matches of the night, Universal title on the line, Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles.
Seth.
So I'm going Seth as well. So these two have never faced one-on-one in WWE, but 15 years ago, they had a match in NWA Wildside, I think it was.
How? Yeah, that's exciting. They posted that too, didn't they?
They played it in the video package. They played a little clip from it.
That's cool.
And I mean, that's when it was AJ Styles versus Tyler Black.
Yeah. That's a badass name. That's a real badass name.
That's when he was wrestling in ROH and on MTV for Wrestling Society X that only lasted like a season, if that.
Lasted like 2 weeks. With this match, it's another one of those, like, it doesn't really matter because you know what's going to happen. But it's just going to be a fun match to really enjoy. Seth's going to go over. I'm sure.
Yeah. I mean, there's no way they take the title off of him.
No, and it's just going to be a fun match. It's going to be what you expect from AJ Styles and Seth Rollins.
You want to hear me piss people off?
Sure.
This match is a filler match until Seth Rollins gets to Baron Corbin.
Fuck yeah, dude. I like the thought of that. You know what I want? I want Baron Corbin to win Money in the Bank, right? And then I want him to cash in on Kofi or whoever, take that belt, and then once the Universal title match comes around, steal the briefcase back, and then do it again, and then just win both belts.
But if he cashes in, they could take his contract out. Then if he takes the briefcase, there's no contract in there, null and void.
He already had one photocopied.
Oh Lord. So
yep, and Photoshop. Don't worry.
I mean, tables match is being advertised between Seth Rollins and Baron Corbin for Extreme Rules.
Is it really?
Yes, sir. I mean, before it was just advertised as a match, but now they've added the table stipulation to the advertising. Again, this has all changed within the last couple of days. I mean...
So who you got?
Oh, I'm going Seth.
You got Seth.
And if you want to talk the final match that's being advertised for, I know this is an Extreme Rules prediction thing, but it ties into all of this. As of right now, for Extreme Rules, there's a triple threat match. Kofi, Owens, and Orton with a WWE title on the line. How good does that sound?
It does sound great.
Going forward, we have the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Participants are as followed: Bayley, Mandy Rose, Ember Moon, Alexa Bliss, maybe, Naomi, Natalya, Dana Brooke, and Carmella. Now, here's my question. On Raw,
dude.
Alexa Bliss was replaced by Nikki Cross. Is that foreshadowing? Or has Alexa worked the match on Sunday? Because Nikki won the Fatal 4-Way. Why would she win over these women that are in Money in the Bank?
But no, I think it's going to be Nikki.
Instead of Alexa?
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible. I don't know how they...
They're not going to give Alexa the brief. They're not going to give her the briefcase again, so why put her something that might fuck her up? Plus, I feel like Nikki Cross is perfect for this match.
Oh, yeah.
Like, for the same reason they probably threw in Ricochet.
Who do you have winning the briefcase is my question.
Mandy Rose.
You think so? You think they go all in?
Oh, yes. See, here's the thing. You give Mandy Rose that briefcase, you might actually get some interesting stuff to go down there, dude.
As far as?
You'd get Mandy and Becky. Wow. I just kind of thought about something.
I mean, she can hold that briefcase for a year and cash in whenever, even if it's not. You know what I mean? If it's
That's
not
true. But I'm
Becky.
just thinking, like, I see Mandy as taking that briefcase, whether it is a successful cash in or not. I see her with that briefcase.
Huh. Okay. You know, I don't know who to pick. I'm very torn. I kind of want to say Bayley, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know if they want to push Bayley right now, especially with all the Sasha Banks stuff. But at the same time, if they want to get Sasha Banks back, they can give the briefcase to Bayley and be like, look, we're pushing your friend. We'll push you too in some sort of a way.
Yeah, but I think Sasha's aware now. I think she knows.
Knows what, though?
Where it's like, they're not going to fucking push me.
Oh, yeah, no.
They're not going to fucking push me. They can tell. And I'm sure that her and the Revival have spoke, like, we're not going to get shit from this.
I mean, Bayley's posting photos every week with the Revival on the road.
Revival.
She-vival. Have you seen those shirts?
Yes, I kind of
The
want one.
She-vival. Anyways. I don't know who to pick. I mean, Mandy's not a bad pick. I'm going to... Fuck it. Bayley.
Yeah?
Sure. It's probably something that people won't be surprised, but it'll be like, oh, I didn't expect it, but I'm not surprised.
I like it. I mean, I could definitely see Bayley being a champ as well. God, I just stepped on 2 thumbtacks right in between my toes.
Well, why are they on the floor?
Don't worry about what I'm into, Tim. I didn't come here to be kink shamed. I came here to live.
Finally, the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Also, hold on.
Update, my foot's fucking bleeding through my white socks.
Uh-oh.
My brand new Adidas socks. Blood.
Medic.
Anyway, yeah, please.
So, I've heard some things recently about Dana Brooke. I don't think she would win Money in the Bank. I'm not saying that. But apparently, she's a hard worker. She helps set up the ring. Once the ring's set up, she trains and works out in the ring. She goes to the performance center on her days off to work out and train more. Apparently, because she's trying so hard, people on the creative and the writing team are now pitching to actually do better and more things with her on television. Because they see how much she's trying compared to, I guess, in the past. Because I know when she first came to the main roster, they were just like, your look's going to get you far. And then they feel like, oh, crap, you don't got it in the ring.
No.
So now she's like, I got to try harder. And apparently, when she's not on the road, she on her own goes down to the performance center and works out and does stuff in the ring. She helps sets the ring up before shows. She works out and does more training in the ring. So
I can appreciate someone that works their ass off like that.
Exactly. And like I said, the creative team, some of the writers have taken notice and they're like, let's pitch some stuff for her to actually see if we can, try to reward her for all the hard work she's been putting in over the last year or so. But I just thought I'd bring that up because I heard a couple people talk about that recently.
Very true.
And finally, we have the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. We've got Sami Zayn, who's taking Braun Strowman's spot.
Funny.
Now, according to Dave Meltzer, he was told this is not an injury to Strowman, even though Strowman's bicep was all taped up on Monday. But this is actually to do with a larger storyline that will play out over time.
I think I know what the storyline is.
So we've got Sami Zayn, Drew McIntyre, Andrade, Baron Corbin, Ali, Intercontinental Champion Finn Balor, Randy Orton, and Ricochet.
All right.
6:30 off the ladder.
6:30 off the ladder.
Oh, no. Shooting star.
I was going to say shooting star onto everyone from the ring to the outside.
There you go.
I like that. That'd be fucking intense, dude. Holy shit. Hold on.
What would that be? Hold on. That's like a 10-foot drop.
That's what, like if the ladder's in the middle of the ring. Also, no, it can't be in the ring.
Yeah, it can.
No, because if that's the case, then why the fuck isn't he just climbing to the ladder and grabbing the case?
We see this all the time. Why didn't Shelton Benjamin jump from inside the ring on a ladder to the outside?
But wasn't it like positioned close to the ropes though? I'm talking about
That's
like
if
the ladder.
Then why didn't he get down and move the ladder?
All right, fuck off, dude. Fuck
I could
off.
see him. I could see him jumping from inside the ring off of a ladder to the outside or something.
So I've got 2 winners for this match personally.
How does that happen?
Well,
Money in the Bank.
just like no, I have like one, and then if not one, if it's not gonna be this story, it's gonna be this story. It's either gonna be A, Sammy wins it and does the Kofi stuff, or B, Orton wins it and he faces Seth. Now, the only thing I can think of that would stop Sammy from winning would be this long-term storytelling, quote-unquote long-term storytelling involving Braun Strowman and Sami Zayn.
Braun comes down and screws him out of Money in the Bank and beats his ass so he can't compete.
Exactly.
But then
I would love this would be great for like for the US title. This would be great.
Braun Strowman comes down and wrecks shop and takes out everybody.
Yeah. Strowman enters himself back in. Strowman beats down Sammy before it could start.
Well, no. Here's a good scenario. So Strowman comes down.
Strowman comes with a gun and just fucking kills everyone.
Yeah, because that's gonna happen. No,
I'm the money.
Strowman comes down. Eyes set on Sami Zayn. Beats down Sami Zayn. Then he's gonna take out the 2 guys that took him out on Monday. Takes down Baron Corbin. Takes down Drew McIntyre. Then he says, "Screw it, I'm gonna take down everybody else." But there's one man that he can't find, and then out of nowhere he gets that RKO. Randy Orton climbs, pop, grabs that Money in the Bank for the second time.
I'd love that, man. I really like that. See, something with Orton lately. It's just come back to me that it's like, God, he's so good. He's fun. He's safe. He's a great fucking storyteller. They're finding new ways to make the RKO a relevant move again. Like, they're finding new ways to do it, new spots. They haven't done anything this refreshing since like the Evan Bourne spot, where I don't even think the Mania spot was that good.
The curb stomp?
Yeah, I don't think that was that good.
You know how good that looked live though, like in person.
Oh,
that
it probably looked
sick
great.
there live, because especially where I was sitting, way up high, you can see how high up Seth actually got.
Fuck yeah!
But
I've got I've liked Orton, and I think he could go to Raw right now and be a great feud. He doesn't have to even win it. He doesn't have to. He could lose it. That's fine.
I think Randy Orton wins Money in the Bank. If it was a couple weeks ago, I would have said Drew McIntyre. But the way he's been used the last couple of weeks on Raw, I'm like, that don't look like somebody they're pushing to win Money in the Bank.
Daniel Price, I can't agree with you there. He says Organ's such a charisma vacuum, he almost qualifies as a black hole. I think he's got great charisma.
Did you just say Oregon?
All right, shut the fuck up, all right?
You want to know something funny?
What?
So, back about maybe 2008, I had a buddy. His
Good year.
stepson would always say Randy Organ. He could
As you
never
do.
say
I'm actually
Orton.
the stepson. I am the stepson.
Well, I mean, time frame could have been. He was like 9'10".
Jesus Christ.
Anyways, you're not a little Mexican boy. Anyways,
And I'm Puerto Rican, so I'm almost there.
you're not brown enough. Anyways,
That's very true.
but you know, like I said, I thought Drew does the job for Roman at WrestleMania. Then they start building them up, and he can win Money in the Bank.
No.
But he hasn't been built up well enough as somebody who I think that could be a legit Money in the Bank winner. So I think Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Randy Orton's been looking good the last couple since Mania. Orton's been looking pretty good. And that's Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank's looking fun.
I think it should be a pretty good show.
I'm excited. I think the card's great. Everyone's relatively fun in the matches. I think the women's matches are going to be okay. I don't even mind the tag match being on the pre-show. I think it's going to be great. I'm going to have fun.
Should be good. With that, got one last thing to talk about here. Not going to harp too much on this.
Yeah.
But it's the Lars Sullivan situation.
So we have different opinions on this.
Really?
I think so. Because why don't you say what the everything was and what
So
happened.
for everybody that doesn't know,
Yeah.
back in last fall-ish, maybe November, some people started digging up some stuff that Lars Sullivan, or real name Dylan Miley, said on a bodybuilding message board before he was ever even in consideration to go to WWE.
Mm-hmm.
Said some things that were not really favorable. He was basically just trying to be an internet troll. Said some racist stuff, said some inappropriate stuff. I think he said some very inappropriate stuff about Stephanie McMahon. And
He said like bad shit about Stephanie and Rhonda.
yeah. And it was just basically I don't know exactly how old he was, but he had to be between like 18 and 23, 24. So a young kid still being stupid online, trying to be, trolling people, thinking, oh, I'm going to get under their skin or something. I don't know exactly what he was thinking. But he got signed by WWE. I don't know if they knew about any of this when he first signed, but apparently they found out over time, and they knew before it all surfaced online last year. It then surfaced online, surfaced around for a couple of weeks and died down, and they thought, okay, that's it. We don't have to worry about this anymore. He got a talking to or so, apparently, and that was all. But then, over the last couple of weeks, it resurfaced again. Some people made a thread on Reddit that kept getting upvoted and upvoted and upvoted to where more people saw it. Then apparently, some fan sent it all to Mars Candy, which is Snickers and M&Ms and Skittles, a sponsor of the WWE, and they emailed the fan back and told him, yeah, we're going to look into this. We've contacted WWE, and because a sponsor got involved, WWE had to take action. WWE fined Lars Sullivan $100,000, and he must conduct sensitivity training. Now, we do know that Lars Sullivan has talked with people, other wrestlers backstage, about the situation, asking for advice on how to handle it and himself going forward. Titus O'Neil, I'm going to read Titus's tweet, because Titus even showed, I guess, favor to Lars Sullivan. Let me find this tweet really fast.
And while you look for it, what I want to mention is that, I think finding him the money was clearly a way to be like, hello, we are the WWE, and we're acknowledging that one of our guys said some really fucked up shit. But I feel like making him pay something is just a way of being like, give us money, we'll sweep it under the rug again. Just make the dude go to sensitivity training. I don't think he should wrestle for the fucking company. Personally, I think which is what the shit he said was just a little too far.
But here's the thing.
And it also mentioned like his goddamn boss and how he like fucked his boss.
That was all well before he was even considered to be in the WWE. He was not in the company when this happened, though.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. I get where you're coming from, but I think it's
so
from that standpoint.
That's like, I don't know, the Green Bay Packers signing some kid from Oregon State. I'm just throwing some teams and names out there. And then some stuff that he tweeted his senior year of high school coming back out on Reddit or whatever, and then them cutting him or them fining him $100,000 or, putting him on the bench or something because of something he said years before he was even a Packer. Just using that as an example. And it's like, people change. People grow. People learn from their mistakes. Maybe he's learned from this mistake. Maybe even before WWE found out about it, he came to the realization of, man, some shit I used to do online was dumb.
I don't like WWE's way of implementing policies. For example, Daniel Pierce brought up exactly what I was going to bring. Michael Hayes just straight up called Mark Henry the N-word and didn't get fined. It didn't get in trouble, anything like that. But
I mean,
the way they dish out these penalties doesn't fucking make sense.
I mean, just a couple of weeks ago, Rhea Ripley had some
didn't she call someone like a faggot?
Homophobic slur on a Twitch stream. Nothing happened to her, and that happened while she was under contract with the company. My whole thing is, now I'm not trying to say what he said was okay, because it's not. I'm not trying to, fight.
You're not trying to
for that.
justify what he said,
There's
but you're
where I'm
trying to
looking for.
like.
My whole thing is, how the hell can you justify finding this guy? Maybe the sensitivity training thing, maybe he does need a little help. I don't know. But finding this guy $100,000 for something he said, according to Titus O'Neil, 9 years ago, he only signed with the WWE in 2013-14. So this is before that. This was like 2010.
Yeah, but again, a lot of that shit he said was like, didn't he say some shit like, the Aryan race is the race, and it's like, holy shit, dude.
But people change, and
I get that people do change, and I think finding the money didn't help anyone in this.
And
case.
according to Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful, he stated on today's Listing You Boy that when people backstage started hearing about this stuff surfacing online, the first thing they thought was, "Are you sure? Because he's a very nice guy backstage."
Yeah, I'm sure he's a changed man, but like, fuck, dude. If you're working for that big of a company, like if I don't know, if I worked for that big of a company, they saw my tweets where I was like, if I was a little fucked up, they'd be like, "Hey, man, what's going on here? You're painting a bad image. You are leaving these bad images available for people to see, and you could still broadcast them."
So, are you suggesting basically what Dave Meltzer said last night, to where if you are a pro wrestler and you think that you have a shot to get signed by WWE, you better go on any message board or social media account you've ever had and clean that thing out?
Just double check. It's the same thing. It's like, in theory, think about it as you going through your camera roll in front of your parents. Do you want them to see your wee-wee? No.
But like I said, when
Don't
he
leave 'em
said these things, not justifying what he said, when he said these things, it was well before that he even thought he was going to be in pro wrestling. So now he's in WWE thinking, maybe not ever thinking about it again, and then they come up. And it's like, wow, stuff I said back in 2010 is now going to hurt me in my career possibly. It's just like, I don't know how you can justify it when there's been a lot of guys in WWE that said some stuff that they shouldn't have said online.
AJ Styles is like openly against gay people. He said it so much.
It's like,
he's like, I really hate gay people. It's like, you can't, AJ, shut up.
I mean, like I said, there's a lot of people that have said or done things in the past before they were signed to WWE. So now does WWE got to go look back at everybody's online history? Nothing. I mean, not saying these are the same things, but, well, no, I can't use that analogy because that's not something that never mind.
It's better to just, that's why I've tried to refrain from giving my opinion too much on it, as aside from the just absolute banger tweet I posted.
So,
go ahead.
One other thing that Sean said is that a current WWE Hall of Famer reached out to him and basically said, how the hell can WWE find an independent contractor for doing something before he was assigned to the company? And there's the thing, he's an independent contractor. It's not like he's an employee of the company.
That's still weird to think about to me sometimes.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not justifying what he said or anything. I'm just saying that, to me, I can't justify them fining him for something he did before he was in the company, because then you got to go look back at everybody's history. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And it's just a situation where it's like, being a fucking idiot online might come back to bite you in the ass.
Exactly.
So just don't be a fucking idiot online. Just don't. Avoid this whole thing by just not saying really obscene shit that you'll regret later. Save that for in person when you're punching them in the face.
So,
God.
Let's wrap this up with a call.
One call.
Only
one.
Well, I had one, but then they...
Let's end this with no calls. That's innocent. Nicholas Amarte, he says, Randy Orton loves to shake hands with new people. And then I said, are you big leaguing me? Which is exactly what Orton said to the intern. Where it's like, you fucking big leaguing me? And then he
touches I have to go talk to Stephanie and tell her you won't shake my hand?
Do you remember that thing when that happened? And it was just the funniest fucking thing.
Oh, when that story came out and everyone's like, is WWE going to do something about this? Fuck no, they weren't. It's Randy Orton.
I mean, to be fair, they should have been like, Orton, what the fuck are you doing? Just fucking thinking about it again.
That's the thing. It's like Orton was doing some.
Shake my hand.
Orton was doing some creepy stuff while he was in the company.
Didn't he like shit?
Like Stacey Keebler's bag or something like that.
Yeah.
Let's take this one call.
Oh, God. Let's take the one.
Got 2 calls on the dock. Eeny, meeny, miny, you.
Oop.
I clicked the right button this time. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on? Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Hey, Tim. Hey, Nick. What's going on?
What's going on, buddy? How you doing?
Oh, pretty good. Pretty good. Hey,
got for us?
I got a question. With Money in the Bank coming up this week, I want to hear you guys, like, favorite cash-ins.
Oh, shit. That was a great question. It has to be Edge, right? Like,
Which
that's
one?
Everyone's favorite cash. The
The
first
first one?
cash-in. Yeah. At Armageddon. God. You know that's a really good cash-in when your older brother, who's like 22 and stopped watching wrestling when he was 15, can be like, oh, I remember that fucking cash-in. That was awesome. Cena was covered in blood.
New Year's Revolution. It wasn't Armageddon.
Oh, New Year's Revolution. Yeah, it's... I think that cash-in's probably my favorite. Tim, what you got?
My favorite...
I know what it is.
Seth Rollins, Money in the Bank.
Probably.
Seth Rollins' Money in the Bank, because you were there.
Probably. I mean, I liked that one.
I like how me and this caller both knew.
I mean, I like that one, especially because I was there and I got to experience it live. But I also liked when Daniel Bryan cashed in on the frickin' Big Show.
That's a good one. What about you, caller? What's one of your favorite cash-ins?
I like the Orton cash-in because, well, that's just how, we got Daniel Bryan to this point.
It's very true.
Yeah, kinda.
I also kind of like the Alexa Bliss cash-in from last year. I don't know why.
I forgot about that. That was a good cash-in. Everything
Because
felt right.
it was very unpredictable, and it was a way for Ronda Rousey to still look strong but still get her ass beat.
True.
Very
true.
Very true.
But, yeah, Money in the Bank is my favorite pay-per-view of the year, so I'm looking forward to this.
Nice.
This
Awesome.
Sunday.
Thanks so much for calling, bud. And during the review of the show, make sw to call in again to give us your thoughts, because I know how excited you were.
All right.
All righty, man.
Have a good night.
Have a good night, bud. That was a good question to end on. I'm not gonna lie. I like that.
Yeah.
Why can't we? Oh, God, do we have to make a top 10 video like you said we were gonna? You want to do it for cash-ins?
We could. I'm going to talk to you after this. I got some ideas.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good.
So, with that, we're going to wrap up this show.
That has been number 76, or episode 76 of the PW Unlimited Wednesday show. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I've been Nick. You can follow me on Twitter at ArmWeek21. Make sure to follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/ProWrestlingULTD, Twitter at PWUnlimited, and stay tuned right here to the YouTube. As this Sunday, we're going to have our review and recap of Money in the Bank. I'm looking forward to that.
Money.
It's going to be my first. It's going to be my first pay-per-view stream since. Couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you my last.
Been a while.
It's been a while. I'm very. Those ones always go hard, and I'm
Yeah.
very excited. Make sure to check out our friends over at Fightful. Fightful.com. Their Twitter is at Fightful Online. Everyone go tweet at Sean Ross Sapp and say,
You're doing this stuff again.
yeah, we're going to do this again since I'm back. Just go ahead and tell him to fight me in Vegas. Tell him that I want to fight him in the heart of Las Vegas, Nevada at Sean Ross Sapp. Let him know. Let's get this match going. Tim, where can
our hotel's only literally around the corner from his. It's walking distance.
I will walk with that NWA North American Heavyweight Wrestling
Bringing that
Champion.
with you?
No, I'm not going to bring it with me, Tim. God, no. Oh, goodness.
With
Tim, where
that,
can they find you?
You can find me basically everywhere at Timmy Buddy.
Fantastic.
We will be live, like Nick said, after Money in the Bank.
Money. On that,
have a good night, guys.
Thanks, guys. Bye. Call your mom. She misses you.
That was 2 days ago, 3 days ago.
I'm going to say that at the end of every fucking show.
Okay.
Call your
then.
mom. Call your mom.